We are not done yet. Just because you won doesn't mean I let you proceed. Next duel.
Wait, what?
Yes? No, it's nothing. How did you know? Fine. You can enter.
Ah! I love how to defeat her at least once.
This way.
Gosh, what voice did I give? I think it was like a weak little boy man. Little man boy. Yes. Hi? Is that... It really happened. Satoshi, finally, we found you! Leah, you are here. Does that mean he's with you as well? Mm-hmm. Alright. This way, please. Make sure you can read the number of this device. It is possible to connect using an IDN client. Oh? Just make sure to look closely at that number, Leah. One moment, please. Satoshi, I am so glad to see you again. Same for me. It has been too long.
Sergey, is that you?
I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but before we continue, let me start a little program. Alright, let's stay close and talk quietly. This room is being monitored. Having this noise around should sufficiently mess with the protocol. At least for some time. I see. Alright, I'm gonna get straight to the point. Sergey, you already know about the VODs. Leah, you aware about herself as well? Yes, she is. Good. This will make things a lot easier. Leah, let me start by saying that you are, in fact, the very first functional avatar. Minus a few remaining technical issues like your malfunctioning speed module. Why? Wait, I didn't imagine that you could talk. But partially, I hard-coded a few words into a model. I wasn't even aware there was an option. It was meant to surprise me, Sergey. It is nothing. Please go on. Right. Let me tell you what happened after Gotham, Suzuka, and I left Entertainment. Despite countless attempts, we failed to convince Entertainment to support our research. It was in that hopeless moment that we met a certain person. Mr. Benedict Sidwell. That's the name he gave us, at least. We never met him in person, and we know very little about him. Yet, he believed in our vision and offered his support. Indeed. With his help, we continued our research in evotars, provided us with everything we needed. Technical equipment, confidential specifications, and most of all, a test environment within the playground. We managed to continue our research within Crossworlds. Entertainment never interfered. To this day, I don't know how he did it. Things started in a small area of Sci-Fi Ridge. However, over time, we realized we needed a larger testing area for effective research. And that's how we ended up in Vermilion Wasteland, a discontinued extension of the playground. Mr. Sidwell made it ours for research. We called it the Evotar Ground. The new location wasn't the most appealing, but it certainly helped with our research. It didn't take us long to reach our first major milestone. Our first Evotar, Leia, was born, derived from Jisuga's avatar. Back then, things were going rather well. We made so much progress, it was exciting. Following prototypes have been proven to be almost feature complete. It was at that point that a long lingering question started to emerge. What exactly will we do with these avatars? Around that time, Mrs. Sidwell made requests for additional features. He wanted to know if we could extract memories from avatars. The memories of the original players. Hence, his original intent became clear to us. He wanted us to develop a system to gather intelligence from players of Crossworlds. And since it's mostly played by rich bastards, this method works on a player of Crossworlds. First, we apply a custom CrossCode to the target player, overriding the original. Just after a short learning phase, we decouple it again. From then on, the modified CrossCode code From then on, the modified CrossCode can run autonomously. An Evotar is born. In order to fully regain their memory, they need to spend some time within the Evotar ground. As soon as this is complete, we gather the intelligence. Turns out you can't simply extract their memory. But of course you can interrogate an Avatar just like any other person. Interrogate them, virtually no restraints in the technique. You can punch them right in the fucking liver. The method worked. We managed to gather highly confidential information, in secret, without leaving any trace. Of course, we discovered that what kind of business we ended up in. We started to protest. We were never intended for Avatars to be used in that manner. We were ready to drop everything, however. It was a bit too late for that. We had broken several agreements with our ex-employer, and so we were reluctant to report anything to the authorities. And even when we considered doing that, Mr. Sidwell managed to blackmail us into submission. His intention was clear. If anyone was tried to leave, our days would be numbered.
Yeah, they probably like sell him out to the companies that he stole from, and they would really want to kill him.
Well, not that it mattered to me. Do you mean your heart disease? Please do not tell me. I'm sorry. The Satoshi you knew died 2 years ago. Standing in front of you is the Evotar of Satoshi. No. I myself created this copy as an offer to Mr. Sidwell so that I could continue to serve him. In return, I wanted to let Shizuka go. I was naive to ever think he'd fulfill his end of the agreement. I cannot believe this. Didn't feel sorry, Sergei. Nothing could have been done about my disease anyway.
Yeah, really fancy society, but I guess those diseases still exist then, huh?
Becoming an Evotar was the only option for me.
You can literally teleport things. I wonder what scale, like, the smallest thing they can teleport is.
Becoming an Evotar was the only option for me to stay in this world. We need to switch rooms, otherwise the masking will lose its effect. Follow me.
I imagine because it's pre-recorded, it starts to filter out noise over time.
Satoshi. No, Satoshi. A system to extract information from players. This is unbelievable.
Look how he sits down, too.
Kinda breaks the atmosphere, doesn't it?
We are not here to have a good time, Shizuka. So now you are an Evotar. Can you move around the playground freely? No. These days I am confined within this building. Also, I know very little of what's happening outside. Are you aware that Elia has been in the Evotar ground recently? I suspect it from some protocol readings I had access to. I'm supposed to try to drag Leah back in. Yes, and once she was there, they could effectively track her connection. They almost managed to look at me. That means Sidwell is already fully aware of your actions. This is troublesome. Something else I wonder. How did Leah learn the truth about herself? Did you? You did not know? Your little sister paid us a visit. You did. She confronted Leah with the truth abruptly. Not again.
I don't see the problem. I merely told her the truth.
You know full well what the consequences of your action could have had. Oh, that sense. Well, it happened. We can't change it now. I'm glad Leah was strong enough to overcome this time around.
Ah, she died once.
Yeah, congratulations, Leia. We're also very proud of you.
Shizuka, please stop acting like a child.
Excuse me? You never stopped acting like a freak! Only caring about your dear little AI sister!
Enough already! Look, I know you have your issues with Leia,
Given that she's literally your clone.
but you need to understand one thing. She has our best chance to get out of this mess. Both of us.
And what do you mean?
It is thanks to her that we got in contact with Sergei. Not only that, but she's the only one who can reach the Avatar server.
Why is this now the first time I hear of this?
I couldn't share this with you, or anybody else. We were all being monitored. It would have jeopardized the whole plan. Anyway, with both Sergei and Leia's help, we might be able to get everyone out of this. You, me, and maybe even Gotham.
Why do they call him Gotham? Like, is it Gotham? Is it Gotham?
The Evotar server is the host of all Evotars, with the exception of Leia. It's located within the playground itself, somewhere within the dungeon compound of Evotar Ground.
That is such an awkward name!
Access is highly limited. Only avatars with an embedded access key can access the area without triggering the self-destruct sequence.
Yeah, don't let people touch their own body.
Remote administration is disabled entirely, with the exception of one command, the deletion of all data. Sidwell's final trump card. The server is impossibly hard to reach. Even if we tried, you could wipe the data at any time. Put an end to almost any avatar in existence, including myself. For Shizuka and Gotham, Murdered with a slim chance to escape this whole mess. But for me, it's close to impossible. However, now that Leah's here, things have changed. Because she has an access key embedded, she can reach the Avatar server. Come again?
Why does Leah have a key of all people?
Because I tricked Sidwell into giving it to her. I faked a malfunction of Leo's avatar.
Ah! Look at her twitching with the big old eyes. Woo!
It just looks like a silly little dog being all goofy.
I told Sidwell that the best chance to fix it was to inspect the state of the Avatar and server side by side. Well, Leo was still connected. However, I wasn't allowed to access the server. As a compromise, I convinced Sidwell to go to the server together with Leia. He attempted to debug the issue while I provided remote support. In order to do that, Leah was given an access key. Despite all the efforts, I told him that the issue could not be fixed. As a final attempt, Leah was relocated to my personal development server. But ultimately, I concluded that she was broken for good.
I would like to... He faked a malfunction and it actually broke her! Or, this is still him being like, oh, Sidwell, it's broken. No, such a shame.
I was obsessed with deleting her. Instead, I secretly snuck her back into the official game servers. It knew that a small data corruption of the database. One where I was certain that an old colleague would eventually be tasked with looking into it.
Oh yes, the data corruption. What the heck? You really did not go easy on me.
I had to make sure that not just anyone could fix it.
Yeah, you obviously want like the senior guy on it. You want to make it a senior fault.
And it worked. Honestly, all this was a huge gamble. And here you are. You received my message and found me. And now we need to figure out how Leah can reach the Avatar server before Sidwell has a chance to wipe the data. I already found a few ideas that I'd like to discuss with you. In private, Sergey. Of course. Let's relocate back to the previous room.
So how does the mapping software integrate with all this?
From here on out, Sergey and I will dive into the technical details. You probably won't be sticking around for that. We spend some time together, talk it out.
She can't talk!
Oh, come on, you know what I mean.
Do I really have to?
Please, dear sister.
Fine. Alright. What should we do? Honestly, there's nothing interesting to see in this building anyway. I hate it here. Let's just head outside.
If you challenge me to another duel, I'm quitting this game and the playthrough is over.
This whole area is just terribly delimited. No way to move around. So, there is a little spot at the lake over there. Let's go there.
Yeah, like, Mr. Robot Man can't move these things, can he? Because he's, like, physically limited by them. Oh gosh, this place is extra. What is all that?
This spot is pretty nice, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Certainly better than anything you find in the Vermilion Wasteland. Let's sit down for a bit. So what words can you say exactly? Hi, bye, Leia. How? Why? Sweet. Sorry. That's it? Mm-hmm. Must be bothersome. She's also still wearing those horns.
What is with the horns? They made the sprite and they really want to get their mileage out of it, I guess.
So you hate them too, huh? They're the worst, aren't they? Oh, this all happened because of a stupid joke. I often complained that horns did not fit the Spearman's design at all. So, of course, one day Sergey gifted them to me. Very funny. And then they'd always log into my account to equip them. Those idiots. And that's how I ended up with them. Sorry about that. Why? Don't ask me. I didn't do it.
This voice is hard to maintain when you're not
Yelling! Well, at least they left you the scar. Scars are badass. I guess we both had the same taste.
Like, a lot of the core personality should be the same, really. Like, I know that memories are different now in nature, nurture, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of the fundamentals are still the same. Over some time, I imagine they'd be very different. But, yeah, they should still be pretty similar, considering it's only been a couple of weeks or so, at most. Although, No, Leah was made like during the early days, so her copy is a lot older. It's just that she doesn't have the memories that Shizuka's built up over time, which is why Shizuka can be a lot grittier.
But you're lucky you know that. You missed the worst stuff.
Yeah, she wasn't there. She got deleted. I would love to get deleted and miss the worst part of my life. Sounds great.
You didn't have to witness your brother.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's great.
And if futility of the whole situation.
I like that I'm a beta. Am I beta? Is she alpha? Like, where would she fall in the development scale? Because she's the first functional one, so that technically sounds complete, but also not feature
They just kept you in that room all the time. Taking care of you. Oh, shut up. Don't be sorry. I understand that this is your fault. I'm yelling at a dog for being a dog. If anything, I should apologize for what I did to you. The whole situation's been going on for so long already. I just don't know what to do anymore. Honestly, how much longer I can take this?
Is that right? Yeah, that feels like it. How much longer can I take this, if anything?
Stop that. How can you be like this after all the things I did to you?
Well, she was before you became a jaded bitch, and that's how that works. She is pre-cunt Shizuka.
It's too soon. Getting all touchy like that. What are we going to do next? Have sex? I don't know if entertainment agrees to that. Do they have a copulation detection array? Do they find that out? Do they record it? Is it a bannable?
Probably is. Man, I'm glad this game sidesteps those questions. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. I'm glad there's no 4 monsters, because that'd be awkward.
That is nothing like me.
Well, it's been 2 years, and it's very easy to forget how you were 2 years ago. As someone who's grown a lot in just a couple of years, man, hi.
You two still at it?
I think we're done for the most part. Though there is one more thing. Shizuka, how's Gotham doing these days?
I don't speak with him much. Didn't speak with him much recently. He's busy designing his level and flying around in his fancy avatar. He seems content enough.
Gotham might be especially difficult to get him out of this. We did meet him here while we were on the Evotar ground. Like from we saw, it looked like he was physically located in the playground. Could that be the case? Yes, somehow Sidwell convinced him to do that. It's easy to keep him under control that way.
Yeah, I imagine that a lot of people don't live on the playground like that, huh? Like, they're all logged in via Evotars and have admin rights.
And, well, Gotham is always excited about creating his own worlds. The prospect of experiencing it in person is quite appealing to him.
Yeah, I can't imagine that being there in real life is different. Even if it's really good code.
Really, I think he's a lost cause. He's stuck in his fancy world, playing his little god figure.
That blue avatar with orange clothing. You know, the awful clash of colors that is blue and orange. Ugh.
Yes, that's him.
This is unexpected.
He acts like such a different character.
That's the whole point. He is a role player like Apollo. He does his role playing. Ew.
In any case, we should try to figure out whatever is on our side or not. Shizuka, can you try talking to him about this? Just hinting at what's happening.
I can try.
Well, I think I have a good grasp of the situation now. We will need time for preparations, though.
Certainly. If you have any more questions, you know how to reach me. Call me, reach me if you want to teach me. Yes, I'm glad to be able to meet both of you again. Same for me. One last thing, though.
Yes?
Looking at what Sidwell did so far, I'm certain that he has specific ways to track your actions. Because of that, please be extra careful when you plan to involve any other player. I will put an IOD of my suspects.
Well then, see you soon. That line makes sense now that I know what the end game of the DLC is about, but... Phew, that was a lot to take in, correct? So what do we do next? Right, we should head back to east of Sci-Fi Reach. Specifically is to... oh. I like to call him Schneider in the code, just to... Ooh. What's a congenital heart disease? I wouldn't have suspected that one, actually. Huh. There we go. Let us see what we can find in here. So I wonder how the maps exist in, like, game files. I imagine they're not, like, big pictures. This is it, Leia. If we go through that tunnel, we will reach Familian Wasteland. Lucas, the avatar of him, hopefully he's still over there. If we act fast enough, we may be able to rescue him. Leia. Leia, please stop. Running in there alone and unprepared is destined to fail. Do not worry. I am positive that you will find a way to reach the Evotar server. So, Evotar refers to like the AI ones. The Avatar, can the Avatars reach it? Like I don't remember if they use that. Oh, no one can reach it except Avatars and Evatars that are workflies. To be honest, I am more concerned about what happens afterwards. Why? Assuming that we reach a server and manage to make a backup of all the Evotars, we still need a proper environment to run them. A new place for Evotars. And one way or another, we're going to need Entertainment's permission for that. I'm not entirely sure how to tackle this issue yet. Even for a simple employee like me, it is difficult to reach the right people to talk about this. Well, that certainly dampened the mood. I am sorry. There is no point in worrying about this now. We just have to try our best and see what happens. Sitting it out is simply not an option. Little setback. It's also not an option because it's already exhausted out of the video game. Wow, 1 gigabyte for this much in this game really shows you how much we've been standing still. Oh yeah, one last thing. Could you go to the first caller HQ? I would like to try something out.